Hello students, let's read our question. Mr. Jones bought a container in the form of a rectangular prism. Its measurements are 1.8 meters wide, 6 meters long, and 2.5 meters high. What is the volume of the container in cubic meters? Okay, let's identify our important information. It says the shape is a rectangular prism and we can see it. All the faces in this three-dimensional shape are rectangles. This is another rectangle, and then on the back we don't see it, but it's going to be a rectangle. The measurements are 1.8 meters wide, so that will be this. You agree, guys? Great. Then it says it's going to be 6 meters long, which is going to be right here, and then 2.5 meters high, which is going to be this distance. Now we're going to look at the question, and the question is, what is the volume of the container? And it says in cubic meters, and all the units are in cubic meters, and the units that are given also are in meters, so that means I can just work straightforward with all these units. I'm going to recall what is the formula for volume. Volume equals a capital B times H. I did circle, underline, box the question. I'm on the section of elaborate, and for elaborate, I'm going to identify all the sections in the volume using colors. Remember that we said finding the area of a prism basically means find the area of the bottom and then repeat it by how many layers you have on top of it. That's something we saw in the video on question number 1. This is the area of the base. With in other words, guys, it could be this and this and then this right here. If I find all this area here, that will be like finding this B here. So I'm going to put a capital B right here. So this and this, it is exactly the same. And the height, it will be this distance right here. Can you see it? Awesome. Now, so we can find the area of this base that we have here. We have to multiply the base on this rectangle times the height of that rectangle. That still is the orange section. This is B times this H. And then at the end, we have to multiply by the number of layers that we have on top of it, which is this 2.5. But I'm still having only variables, so I'm not doing substitution yet. Now I'm going to keep going and I'm going to do substitution. For the B, we're going to be using this 1.8. So I'm going to highlight that in green. And this height is going to be blue. It's going to be this 6 right here. You see, but I'm still inside the orange rectangle. Now I'm going to bring my numbers. So I said the 1.8 is going to be just right here. 1.8 times this height, that is 6 meters. And all of that is the orange rectangle. See that, guys? And then at the end, I'm going to multiply. Not that I'm doing all numbers. I'm going to multiply by this height, that is 2.5. And this is a multiplication done. And this is the one that we got from here. Okay, so now I'm going to do this more top of this. 1.8 times, and we said this is a 6. You see, now I don't have any variables in my formula, and I have only numerical values, so that's what I'm going to do first. What I did first was to identify the formula, do the substitution, and now I'm going to do the operations. This is what I did first, second, and third. We will be multiplying this 1.8 times this 6, which is this 1.8 times this 6 right here. The 1.8 and the 6. And now let's do the operations. 6 times 8, 48. 8 and we carry 4. 6 times 1 is 6 plus 4, that's going to be 10. Great. Now let's check the decimals in each fact. Here we have 1 decimal and here we have none. So the total will be 1. From right to left, we move the decimal point 1 place back. What it means this is the 1.8 times 6, which is this operation, that's going to be 10.8. This 10.8 represents the area on the orange rectangle. If we look at the container, this 10.8 will be this capital B, which means the area of this rectangle in here. Okay, so we're going to multiply this 10.8, which is the area of the base of that rectangle, by the height of the prism, that is 2.5. This 10.8 is the rectangle, so it goes orange. And this 2.5 is the height, so it goes yellow. Can you help me to multiply? 5 times 8, 40. 0 and we carry 4. 5 times 0, 0 plus 4, that's gonna be 4. 5 times 1, that's gonna be 5. We already use this place value, so now we don't use this place value anymore and we use a placeholder. Now I'm gonna multiply the 2. 2 times 8, 16. 6 and we carry 1. 2 times 0, that's 0. Plus 1, that's 1. And 2 times 1, that would be 2. Now we're gonna add. 0 plus nothing, that's gonna be 0. 4 plus 6, that's 10. 0 and we carry 1. 5 plus 1, that's 6. Plus 1, that will be 7. 2 plus nothing, that's gonna be 2. Next step, we have to count the decimals in each factor. So here we have 1 decimal. Here we have 1 decimal. So the total will be 2 decimals. From right to left, we move the decimal point to place values. That's 1 and that is 2. When we multiply 10.8 times 2.5, we get 27 and 0 tenths and 0 hundredths. So I can just keep the 27. That is the answer that we were looking for. I'm going to put a cloud around this. And also I know that I was multiplying meters all the way, and this is volume, so that will be cubic meters. Can you see where the answer is? It's letter D. Awesome. Thank you.